Welcome back to Bay Sunday. So what happens when a wreck of a man meets the messed up grown-up daughter he didn't know existed? Well, that is the premise of Winifred, the debut novel from author and local actor Charles Souby. Charles, good to have you with us today.
Thank you very much, Sydney.
All right, now this is the story of a man named Rayleigh and Winifred, his daughter, and you describe them as highly flawed characters.
Oh, yeah.
Describe them.
Well, Rayleigh's actually just, he's been grieving the loss of his wife for about 6 months, and he was really isolated in their relationship, so he didn't have much of a relationship with the outside world. He goes into a therapy group to get treatment for the grieving and ends up dealing with a lot of personal issues that he doesn't want to deal with. And in the last day, he decides to leave the group, and in the last day of group, he walks out of the room and sees this girl, Winifred, sitting in the lobby waiting for a drug counselor in the office next door. She's a lesbian meth addict, and their eyes lock, and he kind of gets this whole romantic inclination toward her.
Romantic, but it later turns out to be?
It turns out later that she's his daughter, so he, yeah, I mean...
What a quirky twist here.
Yeah.
How did you find this story idea?
You know, that's so funny. It's just, I go to a cafe in San Rafael a lot where I do a lot of writing. And there was a woman around there that I had seen a few times who Winifred kind of fits that description. And I was fascinated by her, you know, really attracted to her. And then I had the thought that, you know, she's just like half my age. And I was doing journaling in the morning, and all of a sudden that thing just took off. And it just became, you know, I forgot about her. In fact, I've never seen her again. But the novel, the character in the novel just took off.
And that's how the great stories start, with just an idea or just a sighting or something. How much of your personal life is part of the story? Well,
the story's based in the Chicago area where I grew up. And I think, I hope not to be as obtuse as Rayleigh is, but there's a lot of me in Rayleigh, and there's actually a lot of Winifred's, you know, personal experiences are directly from personal experiences I had growing up.
But a lot of trials and tribulations.
Trials and tribulations. I'm a recovering drug addict, so, you know, I relate very much to Winifred's life.
Well, you know, when you look at this, there is one particular thing I wanted to ask you. They have something called God shots in there, and that's you know, there's just the idea of God shot. What is that?
A God shot would be, I guess, best described. Carl Jung talked about synchronicity, when events kind of conspire in such a way to you know, provide like an epiphany or revelation, and that's what God shots are. You know, in the story, the fact that they meet is a God shot.
How therapeutic has writing been for you?
Oh, very much. Yeah, it's been amazing. It's just like opened up doors. I'm also an improv actor, and that was kind of where I learned to write on a new level, you know, spontaneous free writing, and just finding out that there's a whole world inside.
You're juggling a lot of ideas and things that are happening with you right now. You've got a book signing coming up.
Right, yes.
And some improv. Tell us about that.
Okay, the book signing is April 5th at Books, Inc. in San Francisco, 2275 Market Street between Noe and Sanchez, 7:30 p.m. And then a troupe that I founded called Marinprov, which is just, it's a joy to be. These guys are great. And we are performing on April 9th at the Marin Community Art Foundation Gallery on 4th Street.
You get a lot of ideas from the improv?
A lot of ideas. Not so much from the improv, but from the process of doing improv.
Right. And then finally, bottom line, we look at your book, and it's really about a messed up family relationship, but it seems like there's also a message of how important family can be. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's, I like to think that it's very hopeful. It is a hopeful book, but it's just kind of untying all the weird knots in life. And the cool thing about it is the fact that they didn't grow up together, so that their knots are different, you know, they're personal knots.
Well, I think you almost described every family in America like that. I always used to say, you know, every family, I think mine is like a briar patch. You never know where it twists and turns and tangles and stuff. So, Charles, it would be wonderful to have you on the show.
Well, thank you very much, Sydney.
And Winifred is available online and in bookstores. You can check out, Charles has a blog at charlesrsouby.com for more information on the book as well. And that is it for today's Bay Sunday. Thanks so much for tuning in. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next week.